Hello, how's it going? Welcome to a brand new video. I'm Joe. If you're new around here, all Captain Goodspeed. Make sure you click that subscribe button for daily sports and retro gaming content. This is part 2 of our Premier League bumper weekend here over on the channel. If you haven't caught part 1, which was my Premier League predictions and FPL link, then make sure you check that out at the end of this video. But this is Football Manager predicting the 2024-25 season. I'm using the sorted out SI database. We are recording this just a few hours before the Manchester United game kicks off tonight to start off the new Premier League season, and this is the most up-to-date database that we have got. I have disabled the first transfer window just to try and get a good representation of where the squads are currently at and seeing where the Premier League will end up. I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are too. As you can see in this update, there is all of the changes, the promotions, relegations, all of that good stuff, and the transfers are all present and correct. All the managerial changes in there as well. You can see the Manchester United team, for instance, they have De Ligt in there, Missouri in there as well, who have joined most recently. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Hopefully you guys are too. We will, of course, check out some of the other competitions as well, such as the Champions League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, Europa League, and so on and so on. And we might even get to see who Football Manager predicts will take the England job. They are currently advertising. Now, it might well be that England end up taking one of the big Premier League managers. We'll keep an eye on that as we go through this prediction, but I'm going to go month by month. We're going to start off by going to the end of August, seeing the start of the season, end of September. We'll probably then skip forward to the end of December, see how that January transfer window goes, and then pick out key moments through the rest of the season. But leave a like if you enjoy, and of course subscribe for plenty of Football Manager 2025 content when that game comes out. But without further ado, let's get ourselves simulating forward to the end of August and see who gets off to the best start in this year's Premier League. Okay, so here we are then at the end of August. You can see Chelsea have beaten Bournemouth 4-0. Let's see what the result of the Premier League is. Man City have won 3 out of 3 so far. Chelsea, Man United and Tottenham all on 7. Newcastle there on 6th. Poor start of the season for Arsenal, only on 4 points for them at the moment. And, sorry Rob, Ipswich Town have lost all 3 Premier League matches so far. Let's have a little look then at the Premier League fixtures so far this season. It's probably easiest to do that on this screen, isn't it? So if we head back to the very first weekend of the season, you can see Newcastle got off to a very good start, 4-0 victory over Crystal Palace. The fixtures are different to what they will be in real life. Ipswich made a very good account of themselves at Old Trafford, scoring in the first minute. Imagine if that happened. Went down eventually 3-2 to Manchester United. But Man City, of course, making the best start of the season. They managed to beat Liverpool on their opening day 2-1. Very big result for them there. Into match day 2, you can see Arsenal losing out to Liverpool there. Newcastle continuing their winning start, beating West Ham. Man City beating Fulham there. Ipswich 2-1. They went 1-0 up against Tottenham. Unfortunately, went 2-1 down eventually. Let's have a little look at if there were any manager movements in that on those first couple of weeks. I don't think there was. So I think everybody is still round and about. Don't know if anybody has taken the England job. Yes, they have, and it is Ernesto Valverde. He has left Bilbao, and he is now the new England manager. Okay, let's push on to the end of September and see which teams are settling in nicely. Well, here's an interesting one for you. I know that this isn't in the Premier League, but Frank Lampard has taken the vacant role at Preston, so very interesting there. Let's see how the Premier League is getting on. We can probably get there through Frank Lampard, and then we'll go to Chelsea, who are 4th in the Premier League at the moment. And there you go then. It is Manchester United who are leading the way at the end of September, still unbeaten in the league, along with Tottenham and Chelsea. 17 points from their first 7 games. Man City, Tottenham and Chelsea are leading the chasing pack, along with Arsenal and West Ham United. Aston Villa currently in 7th. Propping up the table is Ipswich on 2 points. A poor start for Crystal Palace, who still haven't won a match yet. They're on 4 points, and Fulham in P18 at the moment. Newcastle only in 10th. Let's have a little look at top scorers early on this season. Heung-min Son, Ivan Toney and Erling Haaland all leading the way. Bukayo Saka is the best player in the league, and John McGinn, Bukayo Saka and Pedro Porro leading the way with assists. Areola has got the most clean sheets, along with Martinez and Jordan Pickford. Okay, very, very interesting. Right. Let's push forward to the end of December to see who is going to be going into the January transfer window with one eye on who they can bring in and one eye who they can hold on to. Here we are then at the end of December. In fact, it's the 1st of January. It's exactly midnight, and instead of being out celebrating, watching the fireworks, having a glass of champagne at New Year's, we are looking at this instead. So let's have a little look at Newcastle, because Eddie Howe is under pressure. They are currently 7th in the Premier League, and, well, the media are saying that he is under pressure, but it is Chelsea who are leading the way. They're on 39 points from 20 games. They've only lost 1 match all season. They've drawn 9. Imagine if some of them had been victories. Man City have lost 5 games already. They're still 2nd, level on points with Chelsea. Aston Villa in 3rd. Tottenham and Arsenal also on 37 points. Man United on 36. There's 3 points separating the top 6 after 20 games. If Tottenham win their game in hand, they go to the top of the league. Newcastle in 7th. They're a little bit off the pace, but nothing too crazy. Liverpool, first season without Jurgen Klopp, they are down in 9th place currently. Unfortunately, Ipswich, Southampton and Bournemouth are the ones down in the relegation zone, meaning Leicester are the only promoted team that are currently out of the relegation zone. Crystal Palace also struggling down there. Fulham, Wolves, Brentford, they're all down there as well. It's Christopher Nkunku, who is leading the scoring charts at the moment. 13 goals so far this season for him. Rashford in 2nd there on 12. Saka in 3rd. Saka, the best player in the league. Fernandes on 8 assists. Pedro Porro and Bruno Guimaraes on 6 there as well. Clean sheets, Emilio Martinez is on 10 currently. Right, let's have a little look at some of the teams in there then. So what's going wrong at Liverpool? Well, they've got a new manager, so hang on, we need to have a little look at some manager movement. So Arne Slot was sacked on the 9th of December. Mark Bridge Wilkinson has took over as a caretaker manager. Lopetegui has been sacked by West Ham, and Kieran McKenna has been sacked by Ipswich. That would be a huge shock if on the 2nd of December they sack him. Now, have they won a game since he's left? I think they have. I think they hadn't won a Premier League game, and that Aston Villa game, well, that was the end of McKenna. They did beat Bournemouth recently, and they did draw 1-1 with Brentford, but they're still going under caretaker leadership of John McGreal. Let's have a little look at who is the favourite for that job. I hate how they put all of the jobs in there. Let's just go for manager there. So Matthias Dam is the favourite for the Liverpool job. He was Chelsea manager. When was he Chelsea manager? Or was he a caretaker there? Caretaker manager, possibly? It says manager. I don't remember this guy at all. Matthias Dam. He is going to be taking over Liverpool, apparently. Sam Allardyce. Sam Allardyce is favourite for the West Ham job. Imagine if he went back to West Ham. Imagine how the fans would react. And Sergio Conceição is the favourite for the Ipswich job, which I think would be pretty decent for them. Let's see how the other competitions are going. The Carabao Cup, for instance, that is probably at the semi-final stage now. Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea and Everton are in there. Any big shocks making it? Oxford United to the quarter-final. That's a pretty big result for them. Rotherham making it to the last 16 along with Stevenage. Let's have a little look at the Champions League. So we'll go to the Conference League first and go to the group stage. Yes, the new Conference League won't be in there, will it? That's a little bit annoying. Yeah, that's just the way it goes, I suppose. Did Chelsea make it through? Oh, they were in second. That's pretty poor in the Conference League. What about the Europa League? There is the knockout playoff round, but we'll have a look at the groups first. Man United winning their group comfortably. Rangers up there. Tottenham winning their group as well. No big shocks in that one. And then into the Champions League, Aston Villa dropped down into the Europa in their first season back in the Champions League. Third they finished. Liverpool win their group. Anybody else? Arsenal win their group and Man City win their group. So it's looking positive for the English teams to do well in the Champions League and get a 5th Champions League spot for next season. So without further ado, let's move on to the end of January and see who comes in and who, more importantly, who leaves. Okay, we reached the end of January then, and Chelsea have continued their lead at the top. I mean, this is incredibly close, isn't it? Chelsea, Tottenham and Arsenal all on 44 points on the 1st of Feb. Man City on 43. Man United have just dropped back to 40 now. Aston Villa in 6th on 39. Brighton are on 36, and then Newcastle in 8th ahead of Liverpool. At the bottom, Ipswich still propping up the table on 9 points. Bournemouth and Southampton struggling to keep pace now with Fulham in 17th. Crystal Palace have won a game and moved up to 16th. Leicester looking decent at the moment. Let's have a little look at manager movements. Have we had any more of them since we last saw you? Yes, we have. So, Bournemouth, Areola has been sacked. Crystal Palace have sacked Oliver Glasner. Paddy McCarthy has taken over, presumably. Well, I thought he might be on a... yeah, it is caretaker, but he has been appointed permanently, actually. Interesting. Javi Gracia has gone to Ipswich. That is a very interesting appointment. Nuno Espirito Santo has gone to West Ham from Nottingham Forest, who have now appointed David Moyes. That is hilarious. Right, so Nottingham Forest, yeah, they're doing okay. Since Moyes come in, how have they done since he's come in? Probably not so well. But yeah, that is bonkers then, that he's left Forest to join West Ham. I'm not sure how West Ham fans would feel about that appointment, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's have a look at the transfer window then. Who has been signed? Well, Rodrigo has left Real Madrid for Manchester City. £51 million. That seems like a very good deal for Manchester City. Galeno has left FC Porto. He's joined Liverpool, £40.5 million. We've got Richard Horta and Victor Gomez coming from BRG in Portugal. Is it Basel, I assume? Is it Basel? I think it will be. We should be able to see actually where they are based. It doesn't say. It's not Basel. Of course it's not Basel. Basel are in Benfica. That's who I mean. I'm assuming it's Benfica. They've both left there to go to Tottenham. Dan Neil has gone from Sunderland to Southampton for 13.5 million. Facundo Torres has left Orlando to join Crystal Palace. That's a interesting deal. A couple of American signings there for Crystal Palace. FC Dallas. Yeah, what's going on with the MLS here? We've got Velasco going to Arsenal, straight out on loan to Stoke. Any other interesting signings? James Rodriguez has joined West Ham. That's an awesome signing for them. Sergio Roberto has gone to Brighton. Adrian Rabiot has gone to Tottenham. Matt Hummels has gone to Brighton. That's a huge signing for them. Wow. Okay then. Depay's gone to Fulham. Navas has gone to Fulham. Lots of good free signings here, obviously, with the transfer window only just opening. Thomas Souček has gone out on loan from West Ham. That's a bit of a surprise, to be honest with you. But yeah, I thought that was Calvin Phillips. No, he's not gone anywhere there. Wow. Okay then. Has Calvin Phillips entered? Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it. Phillips isn't in the Ipswich team. Obviously, that is a late signing for them. But yeah, very interesting season so far. And Kunku back to lead in the scoring charts ahead of Rashford and Saka. But other than that, nothing too different. Let's go to the end of March and we'll see who is going to be leading the way going into the final stretch of the season. Well, before we get into the Premier League, I thought we'd have a little look around the different leagues below. So we've got Norwich champions of the Sky Bet Championship already. So they're going to be back in the Premier League. Burnley, Leeds, QPR, Cardiff and Luton keeping pace. Down at the bottom, you've got Oxford United, Portsmouth and Middlesbrough. Interesting to see Middlesbrough so low down. Into League One, Huddersfield leading the way. Birmingham up there. Shrewsbury, Northampton, Wickham and Crawley all down in the relegation zone. Into League Two, you've got Wimbledon, Colchester and Port Vale at the top, Morecambe and Newport down at the bottom, and that's all I've got loaded in for now. But let's head into the Premier League then. And it is still Manchester United leading the way on 62 points. Arsenal keeping pace in second, 1 point behind. Tottenham up there as well on 60. So just 2 points separating the top three. Man City are just a point further back in fourth. Chelsea are fifth and have clearly won the Carabao Cup. Liverpool sixth ahead of Aston Villa in seventh. Newcastle are 8th now, and down at the bottom, Ipswich have not gained another point since we last saw them. They are set to become the worst ever Premier League team. They are surely almost certain to be relegated. 7 games to go, 7 times 3 is 21. So, yeah, Leicester just need a point to put them out of the Premier League. Bournemouth are in 19th there, and Southampton are in 18th, but they're much closer to the teams above. Leicester, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Fulham have got themselves out of it for now. Let's have a little look at manager movements then. And yes, Eddie Howe has been sacked by Newcastle. Jurgen Klopp has taken over. I can't say I'm complaining too much about that one. And Newcastle certainly seem to have got into some good form recently. Let's see if there's been any more transfers of late. There have been a few, just loan signings. There was Francis Coquelin joining Fulham just after deadline day. Nobody else really to speak of there. Okay then, let's see how things are looking at the end of April. So we'll do one more little update and then we'll jump to the end of the season and do a full review. But let's see who goes into pole position at the end of April. Well, how predictable. Man City have somehow made their way back to the top. They're 2 points clear now of Chelsea in second. United have dropped off a cliff. There's still only 3 points separating the top 5 there. Arsenal and Tottenham still in the race as well. Villa are 6th ahead of Liverpool in 7th and Newcastle in 8th, looking more solid. It has been confirmed that Ipswich are relegated and they need, well, a couple more points to usurp Derby's worst ever Premier League performance. Southampton and Bournemouth still fighting, but it is going to take quite a lot now to go above Crystal Palace. Leicester, Brentford are still fighting down there, but it's a 5-way battle for 2 spots in the relegation zone. And a 5-way battle for the lead at the top. Any more manager movements? Let's have a little look. No, there's not. So we're now heading into the final 3 games of the season. We're going to push it forward a week at a time now. Let's see when the final fixtures are. So we've got Saturday the 4th of May, Saturday the 11th of May, and the final fixtures there are on Sunday the 19th. So we're going to skip forward to the 19th of May. And we'll see who goes in the final, into the final game of the season in pole position. Here we go then, the final Premier League matches of the season. Let's have a little look at the Premier League. Chelsea are level on points with Tottenham. It's looking like it's going to be between them two for the title. Man City are 3rd on 74, so there's officially 3 teams still in it. Mathematically, Arsenal can still do it. Their goal difference is pretty decent. They're on 72. And Man United, well, they're probably out of it because of their goal difference. They're on 72, but 3 points separating the top 5. Liverpool have usurped Aston Villa up into 6th place. Aston Villa are 7th and Newcastle in 8th. They've not had a great run of form to end the season. West Ham 9th and Everton in 10th. There's still 4 teams in a relegation battle. Brentford, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth and Southampton. So let's bring up these matches and let's see what happens here in this final round of matches. Wow! Man City have somehow done it. How do they keep doing this? Oh my word, they've overtaken Chelsea on the last day of the season there by beating them at the Etihad. They win the title by 1 point ahead of Tottenham Hotspur. They're on 76. Arsenal and Chelsea on 75. Man United don't get into the top 4. They're on 75. Wow. Let's have a look at those final matches. So Man City beat Chelsea on the last day of the season there. Where were Tottenham? Tottenham could only draw against Wolves. That is huge. They should have won that. They really should have won that, shouldn't they? Man United did their bit. Arsenal did all they could. They won 4-0. I mean, had Arsenal or had Tottenham lost, and well, yeah, it was actually impossible for Arsenal to win, wasn't it? Because Chelsea had to lose, and in Chelsea losing, Man City won the Premier League. So Arsenal did all they could. They couldn't win it in the end, and that is crazy. So there you have it. Man City are going to be Premier League champions on the final day of the season. We're going to have 4 teams in the running on the last day. Wow, that's awesome. Southampton and Bournemouth do go down in the end. Bournemouth did their best, but they lose out on goal difference to Brentford. Crystal Palace win on the final day of the season to secure their Premier League survival. They beat Fulham. Well, let's have a look at the Sky Bet Championship. So, Norwich win ahead of Leeds in second. We still got Burnley, Luton and West Brom in the playoff picture. We're going to push forward to the first week of June. Was there any other manager movements? No, there weren't. So we'll head forward to the first week of June to round up all the other competitions. So there you have it then. It is Burnley going up with Leeds and Norwich. I don't think any other managers have been sacked in the Premier League. So that's interesting. And you can see Man United did get the 5th Champions League place. Liverpool finish 6th. Newcastle must have won the FA Cup, but we'll get to all of that in a minute. So League One. Huddersfield won it, Charlton 2nd, Birmingham in 3rd. You can see some of the teams up there. I mean, Stockport finishing 7th. That's pretty amazing. Wickham, Crawley and Northampton going down. In the Championship going down, Middlesbrough, Oxford and Portsmouth. Into League 2 then, Wimbledon, Colchester, Port Vale and Carlisle all being promoted. Morecambe and Newport going down. York, Sutton, York and Sutton finishing top 2. Don't know who else went up. In the Vanarama National League North, Scunthorpe, Brackley and Oxford United look in the best positions. I will show the South as well for those of you that want to see it. Torquay, Chelmsford and Hampton and Richmond performing well in those leagues. Let's have a little look at the cup competitions then and see how we got on. So Manchester City, did they win the Champions League? Yes, they did. They won the final on penalties to Real Madrid. In the semi-final, they beat Arsenal. Real Madrid beat Liverpool. So 3 British teams in the semi-finals there. That is pretty amazing. Into the Europa League, Bayern Munich beat Lazio. Man United got to the semi-final. Where did Aston Villa come? Did they get through the No, they didn't. They didn't get through the knockout playoff round. They lost to Real Sociedad. In the the Europa Conference League, Chelsea did win it in the end after a slow start. They beat Benfica in the final there. That's a very good result for them. Domestically, Chelsea also won the Carabao Cup. They beat Man City in the final, having beaten Everton in the semi-final. And Newcastle did win the FA Cup, ending their long wait for a domestic cup victory. They beat Brentford in extra time in the final. Brentford beat Nottingham Forest 3-0 in the semi-final. And then Newcastle beat Liverpool. But there you go. Newcastle finally win the FA Cup, and it was Miggy Almiron in the 107th minute that managed to get us over the line. Get in there. Up the lads, eh? How are the lads? Right. There you have it then. That is Football Manager predicting the 2024-25 season. Top scorer was Nkunku in the end. Salah, the best player in the league. And Fernandes getting the most assists. Martinez and Jose Sa sharing the Golden Glove. So there you have it. If you have enjoyed it, give it a massive thumbs up down below. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section. If you want to see my personal predictions, then check out the video in the end screen right now. But thank you very much for watching. Subscribe for more, and plenty more to come in the bumper weekend of football with the Retro Show returning on Sunday. And we will be opening some more Panini Adrenaline XL cards, looking at the Premier League. So I can't wait for all of that. Hopefully you guys will look forward to it too, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.